Hey, good afternoon and welcome to Pinkerton Academy in Derry for this afternoon's season opening game for the Astros against the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. It is a D1 versus D2 matchup, and a matchup of a team that many expected to win the championship last year in Division I until Exeter came in here and knocked off the Astros, against the team that everybody expected to win the D2 championship, and they went out and did just that under first-year head coach Travis Cody. Travis Cody enters his second year as the head man at Bishop Guertin, so this is a marquee matchup for him to come in here to Derry and try and take down the Astros. We'll get you full highlights of this game. We'll also come in at halftime and talk to you about what we saw in the first half. And then, of course, all of our post-game recaps, interviews with the players and coaches, and everything that you can come to expect on New Hampshire Sports Page. I'm Pete Terrier. We'll be back with you at halftime.
I've returned. Anyone stepping on me, you'll get burned. Cause I got lyrics, but you ain't got none. If you come to battle, bring a shotgun. But if you do, you're a fool, cause I do to the death. Trying to step to me, you take your last breath. I got the skill, come get your fill. Cause when I shoot the gift, I shoot the kill. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around. Jump around. Jump around. Jump around. Jump up and get down. Jump, 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 I'm the cream of the crop. I rise to the top. I never eat a pig cause a pig is a cop. Or better yet, a Terminator, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Trying to play me out like as if my name was Sega. But I ain't going out like no punk bitch. Get used to one style of yo when I might switch it up and around. Then buck, get down, put out your head and then you wake up in the dawn of the dead. I'm coming to get ya, I'm coming to get ya. Spitting out lyrics, homie, I want ya. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around, jump around.
13-3, Pinkerton on top of Bishop Guertin at the half. Scoreless first quarter in this one, although Pinkerton did have a couple of chances, golden opportunities, one of which when Manny Lattimore ran a 22-yard touchdown, but it was called back because of a holding penalty. Pinkerton later made another drive, got right down to the goal line before Matt St. Ange fumbled the ball into the end zone, recovered by Bishop Guertin. But a drive later, Lattimore once again finds the end zone, this time no penalties. 66-yard touchdown run on the punt return. Pinkerton up 7-0 at that point early in the second quarter. A couple of minutes later, actually it was only a couple of seconds, because on the ensuing kickoff, BG fumbled. Pinkerton recovered it at the 33 of the Cardinals. And a couple of plays later, it was Chris St. Ange running in for a touchdown from 6 yards out. Point after kick failed on a bad snap. BG did get on the board late in the first half, kicking a field goal from 30 yards out. So it is 13-3, Bishop Guertin trailing Pinkerton at the half.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up if you got the feeling. Jump up, touch the ceiling, monks, let's a funk flow. Someone's talking junk, yo, I'll bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the punks out, feeling funky. Amps in a trunk and I got more rhymes than this cops at a junkie. Donut shop, sure enough, I got props from the kids on the hill, plus my mom and my pops. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, jump, jump.
Pinkerton wins it against Bishop Guertin 20-3 here with one of the stars of the game, Manny Lattimore. Manny, had to feel good to get out there and play some real football after the disappointment I'm sure you felt last November.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're always looking to play the game, always looking to win games. The competition feels good, so we're really looking good for the season.
When you feel personally about your role in the team this year compared to years past, you're a kid that came in with a lot of hype even as a freshman. You sat behind some real good runners in Davies and, of course, Emmett Smith.
Yep.
This year, the baton's kind of being passed to you. Are you up to the challenge to kind of be that featured back this year?
Absolutely. All I have to do is play the game I've been playing for 11 years now, so I'm really looking forward to this role and just to go out and play football.
I got to admit, last week when I saw you at the Queen City Jamboree against Timberlane, saw St. Ange in the backfield with you, but as a running back, that took me by surprise.
Yeah.
I was hoping you could maybe talk about that move a little.
Chris St. Ange is he's a football player, not necessarily, quarterback, running back, fullback, wide receiver. He can play anything. He's a football player. Everyone can be football players, wherever they move. Chris St. Ange just happened to move to running back. He's doing an amazing job at running back. But he can go and play quarterback as well. He's a football player, and he can do amazing things at any position.
How about that punt return, 66-yard punt return, which got you guys on the scoreboard? What do you see as a punt returner in that situation, or do you just kind of react and go?
You just want to be safe. If you want to call a fair catch, call the fair catch. Just make sure you don't get hurt. Make sure you don't get injured. Do what you can for the team. Do what's best for the team. And I fielded the punt. I felt pretty good going into that punt, and I saw my team to the right. I just took the ball to the right and went to the house.
How about your thoughts on next week's game? I think it's a pretty big one. Might be a team that you faced right here last November.
Yeah, Exeter will be tough. We know that. They're number one, we're number two. It's going to be a battle, but I think we have a lot to prove tomorrow, and we are the number one team in New Hampshire, and we're going to show that next week.
Pinkerton gets off on the right foot to start their season, winning 20-3 against Bishop Guertin. Wasn't the prettiest game, Coach, but I'm sure you'll take it.
I think we got off on the left foot, not on the right foot. And you're right, a W is a W, and I don't want to start fixating on all the mistakes, because in the end it only matters if you win or lose. But because we've always had ugly games with BG, we tried this year to commit ourselves to this time we're not going to screw up.
What do you think you can attribute that to? I mean, two top programs in their division, and there's a little bit of a feeling out period, I think, early in the game, but it seems like you guys do always play these type of games.
I think it's because it's the opening game of the year. I think when you want to have the two better teams, regardless division, out of division, you want to have it in the middle of the season or maybe towards the end. You don't really want to have it in the opening week because there's mistakes made. You can just show so much in the preseason. Well, we had no competition in our scrimmages. We just ran roughshod over people. So there was nothing to work on, and we didn't show everything. So then we put some stuff in today that we need to run, and we don't run it well. That's probably the reason. I don't know. They have very good defense, first of all. Let's understand that. But we had 5 turnovers from them, and we fumbled going in the end zone. We had a touchdown call back for a penalty. Seems like every time we had a double-digit run, there was a holding called back. Wasn't pretty.
Manny's punt return certainly was pretty. What did you see there?
I saw a perfect wall set up. It happened right in front of me, and kids, we work hard on that in practice, and we didn't even need all those kids. There were only 3 blocks necessary out of the 7 kids we had set up, so it was run scheme-wise exactly the way it was supposed to, and Manny made a nice cut in the end.
All right, let's talk about next week. Exeter coming back here. I know that all us media types have payback on their mind and the revenge, and the once again you guys meeting. But I'm sure for you it's a little bit different than that.
It is, and because they graduated so many seniors and we graduated so many seniors, there aren't a lot of kids on the field Saturday that are going to be in a payback mode. They were standing on the sidelines watching, and it's early in the season. It means very little. It means pride, but very little. The last time I remember, I think we pretty much had our way with them in the regular season last year, and it had no bearing whatsoever in the championship. Everything gears towards the championship. We want to win. Bill's going to want to win. We're going to do whatever we have to do, but unlike with the medium, I think it's not the be-all and end-all. It's just temporary for now, bragging rights for another week until you get ready. So we'll do what we have to do.
Something tells me you're not going to get caught off guard by that little crisscross reverse play that they ran for a couple of touchdowns last night.
You can say that. Coaches know when how to stop reverses. We all have our defenses set for it, but reverses are reverses. You start pounding away on the right side or the left side, and then the defense starts getting over there, and then you just bring Grant back inside on the scissors, and that was a pretty play. Will we practice it? Of course we'll practice it. I'll bet you Dover practiced against it too. But that doesn't mean it will be taken care of.
Congrats on the season opening win against BG. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Pinkerton victorious against Bishop Guertin by a score of 20-3. Your coverage here on the New Hampshire Sports page, newhampshiresportspage.com. I'm Pete Terrier. John Kesty, our videographer, is with us. And look, as we said to Coach O'Reilly, it was not pretty, but so often these first games of the season just aren't. You don't expect a thing of beauty. I expect it to look better as the season goes on. I still think Pinkerton is a very, very, very good football team, and I'm not changing my vote for them as number one in the power poll, despite the fact that they only beat BG by 17 and Exeter won 42-7. I still think Pinkerton is the team to beat this year, although that sets up for a tremendous game right back here on this field next Saturday afternoon as Exeter comes in, the defending Division I champs, against the team that they knocked off in this championship game back last November. As far as what happened today, the Manny Lattimore punt return for a touchdown was phenomenal. Great play by him, great play by his teammates, the blocking up front, a lot of individual effort on that one as well. Lattimore, as I have it, not a huge game for him outside the punt return. I had it for a 66-yard punt return. I had him for 66 yards rushing on the ground on 19 attempts. For Bishop Guertin, to me the player that stood out was Anthony Reale. Had a big reception in the game, a 17-yarder. Also had some nice job running the football. I had him for 7 carries and 36 yards, so he stood out for me. Tommy Hurley in at quarterback, threw the ball 14 times in the game by my count, completed 8 of them for only 58 yards. They were mostly short dump-off passes. For Pinkerton, Sean Conroy didn't really throw the football a lot in this game. He did have one completion for 25 yards to Chris St. Ange, but Pinkerton's not going to throw the football a lot. They're going to run the football some more, and they used a bunch of different guys, Chris St. Ange, Matt St. Ange, you even had Matt Madden out there. Conroy got a couple of carries as well, and of course Manny Lattimore doing the work. So Pinkerton impressive today, winning it against BG by 20-3 score. The real games, the ones that count in the standings, they start next Saturday. Exeter at Pinkerton, right back here in Derry. Very much looking forward to it, and we'll have it covered on the New Hampshire Sports page and newhampshiresportspage.com.